You are Locked On 76ers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Philadelphia, on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to the show, everybody. Locked On 76ers Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. My name is Mark Farzetta, and how about that win for your 10-9-8 76ers? Although I will say right out of the gate, triple-double, Joel Embiid, not too bad in your first game since January 4th. Good to see you out there, son. But as I think most of us would expect, he wasn't going to play tomorrow night, and it is now officially official. He is not going to play tomorrow night against the Miami Heat. So, yeah, the back-to-back thing still ain't happening yet for Joel Embiid. And towards the end of this game, there was a nice little point there where it looked like he ran out of gas. I will say this, if that's running out of gas, for most people, that's still a pretty high level of play, certainly. But it factors into the decision-making by Joel Embiid. But I'm not going to rain on that parade, at least not yet. He comes back tonight, and he goes out there and posts a triple-double. So great to see you there, JoJo. Tyrese Maxey's performance we'll talk about tonight. He was every bit of good as you needed him to be to beat this Mavericks team. And then the role players, through every win, through every little measly win that the Sixers are able to get in a either playing or ramp-up and playing Joel Embiid game, like tonight, for instance, still 29 points in a ramp-up game, not too bad. Any game like that, you still need your role players to step up, and that's exactly what those guys did tonight. Guerschon Yabusele being the number one guy I'm thinking about as a role player to step up, and what this trade here with Grimes means for Guerschon Yabusele's near future with the 76ers, what it could spell out. So we'll get into that conversation also, but he balled out for the Sixers and also got him some rebounds tonight as well. So love seeing all that from your 10-9-8 76ers. And once again, this is Locked On 76ers Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Your favorite podcast, by the way, now as a newsletter, introducing Locked On 76ers daily newsletter. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new, free Locked On 76ers newsletter. This particular episode of Locked On 76ers Postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Check them out. Super Bowl 59 is here. There's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. New customers can bet just $5, and if you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. Download the app or head to FanDuel.com to get started. Let's begin it with three big things. Number one, let's get it out of the way. Joel Embiid is the number one person you got to talk about tonight, no question. And what he was able to do out there on the court. And I noticed at the end of the third quarter, I was like, all right, let me just look at it, because I'll look at the player stats, obviously, at the end of every quarter. But I was like, all right, let me really keep in closer tabs than normal on Joel Embiid in particular. So the Sixers close out the third quarter. They had a phenomenal run in the third quarter. As a team, they won 36-22 in that quarter alone, and that was a big response. We'll talk about why they needed that response in a minute. But Tyrese Maxey was at 26 points, 9 assists. Joel Embiid was at 22 points, 7 assists, and 8 rebounds. I mean, there's no way he's going to go, play however many minutes he's going to play, 7-8 minutes in the fourth quarter, and not come down with 2 rebounds. So I don't know if he was trying to focus on getting assists or what the deal was, but he got his assists before he got his rebounds. And you could certainly argue that his almost game-sealing rebound there towards the end of the fourth quarter that led to the Sixers getting the side out-of-bounds play before they inbounded to Joel Embiid before he went to the line to make one of his 2 free throws, struggled from the free throw line today. Joel Embiid, no hollow triple-double here. When you talk about points and you talk about his rebound, how clutch his rebounding was throughout the night, especially the last one that he got, and then being more of a facilitator. And one of the things I try to think about is how Joel Embiid at the end of last year talked about maybe taking a page out of Nikola Jokic's book, and how a lot of us have been crying for that, begging for that. Be that facilitator role a little bit. But on a night like tonight where you still put up 22 of your own points, that's pretty special as well. But clutch down the stretch for the Sixers with a little hiccup here and there that we'll talk about. But overall, he was aggressive. For the most part, he was going to the rim, and he was going to the rim aggressively. Yeah, there were, again, a couple of hiccups, but for the most part, he was pretty aggressive tonight. And there wasn't really a point until the fourth quarter where I noticed him starting to get a little tired. And there was one challenge that the Sixers had, and it was on that play on the baseline where Joel Embiid was saying that he got fouled. The Sixers ended up not challenging that play, but Embiid, or excuse me, it was the 9:12 left in the game in the fourth quarter. 9:12 mark of the fourth quarter. The ball goes out of bounds. Originally, it's ruled off of Philadelphia. Nick Nurse, rightfully so, challenges it, and the ball clearly went off a Dallas Mavericks shoulder and bounced out of bounds. Now, here's the thing. Embiid, before that moment, was looking a little sluggish. I was surprised that he went in at the 10:04 mark of the fourth quarter. I thought that was a little early in the fourth quarter for Nick Nurse to put him out there, but albeit that's when he thought it was time. He didn't look right. Made some bad decisions. He took a jumper over Dante Exum as opposed to taking him to the line or taking him to the rack. Shot a three early in the shot clock that he didn't need to shoot. And I don't mind him shooting threes. I'm not one of those people. I just thought, the timing's got to be right, and it wasn't in that particular instance. He also had, I thought this was interesting, Nick Nurse had Adem Bona and Joel Embiid on the floor at the same time. So then the opportunity comes for a little bit of a break where the referees have to review an out-of-bounds play. And that seemed to give Joel Embiid the extra minute or two of rest that I thought he should have gotten anyway. And from that point on, he was pretty damn good. As I mentioned earlier, he was struggling from the free throw line anyway. But looking at what he was able to do throughout tonight's basketball game, it was a sight for sore eyes. Driving layup to start things off in the first quarter for him. He checks out of the game at the 4:40 mark of the first quarter. He's already logged 7 points in 7 minutes worth of work. Not too bad. Nick Nurse gives him 8 more seconds at the end of that quarter because simply the Sixers had the ball in their end of the court, and they just wanted to see if they could get another couple of points out of it. Unfortunately, it did not work, but he finished up that first quarter with 7 points, 2 rebounds. He also had 2 turnovers. At the same time, Tyrese Maxey, 11 points in 12 minutes to get things started in that first quarter. Second quarter, Embiid knocks down a 3 to help the Sixers get things going and get back into a game that they started to lag as a team behind there with about 5 minutes remaining in that second quarter. Embiid's the one that got him going. Then he hit another jumper the next time down the court. Sixers are trying to close in on the Dallas Mavericks, who at the time were up 8, and Joel Embiid started chipping away at that lead. Maxey gets an N1, Embiid gets a putback. Next thing you know, you're only down 2 points to the Mavericks, but all this is Embiid really leading the charge. Maxey's certainly doing his part, but just seeing Joel Embiid go out there and do his thing. He had one more layup that gave him 22 points in the early goings of that third quarter, and that was like the quarter in the machine for Joel Embiid. And he kept bringing it. Pretty much kept bringing it on both ends of the floor after that. So seeing this kind of effort from him tonight, seeing this kind of production above all else, it's really amazing what the Sixers could do when they have another all-star caliber, if not MVP caliber player on the floor. Now tonight, yeah, triple-double's great, filled out the stat sheet. That's exactly what you need from him. But MVP, it's going to take me a minute before I start talking about playing at that level again. Not in consideration for the season. He ain't winning that award. We know this. By rule, he literally is not winning the award. But just seeing him go out there and start to work these steps in is certainly something that we have been longing for as a fan base. So at least seeing him go out there tonight, notch that triple-double was great. I do, in our second segment, want to get into one thing I really would love to see from Joel Embiid as this season goes on. And whatever we're going to get from him, whatever we're going to get from Joel Embiid for the rest of the year, there's a point almost in every game. And it'll be less and less the more he plays. But there'll be a point in almost every game where he is feeling sluggish, where he needs to revert to this. And we'll talk about that in a second. But Joel Embiid, all in all on tonight, loved what you saw in this 118-116 victory for the Sixers over the Celtics. I wish. Do that again. Sure. Over the Mavericks tonight, 118-116. And the way it wrapped up for Embiid, by the way, you see the numbers there in the graphic. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 offensive boards, by the way, for him tonight. 5 turnovers in 36 minutes. Certainly not what you want to see. But as I tell you, every time we talk about turnovers, if you look at the stats in the NBA, some of the best players in the NBA are right there leading the league in turnovers, unfortunately. So 29 points for Joel Embiid as part of the triple-double with 11 rebounds and 10 assists. Great to see it. Tyrese Maxey right behind him. How about Tyrese Maxey? A Sixer high 33 points. Comes in number 2 on this list. He was a plus 18 on the night and 13 assists. What? It's amazing what can happen when, again, you have another all-star level player on the floor. And that's what you had in Joel Embiid. Also, on top of that, the only guy that outdid him tonight point-wise was 34 points by Kyrie Irving, who had it going for himself, not necessarily from 3, only 2 for 8 from beyond the arc for Kyrie. But Tyrese Maxey tonight, we talked about the efficiency we need to see from him. You saw 22 shots. He was 13 of 22 shooting from the floor, just 3 of 11 from beyond the arc, 4 for 5 from the free throw line, and 33 points on the night. So I'll take 33 points by way of 22 shots anytime. That's when we're talking about that more efficient scoring from Tyrese Maxey. And in total, 40 minutes worth of work for Tyrese Maxey this evening. I mentioned how he really helped start things off for the Sixers, especially in that first quarter. Maxey comes out with 11 points in 12 minutes. That's a nice start. Sixers trailed after that first quarter by 5 points. Things fell apart a little bit for him there where they got outscored in that second quarter. That was a rough one. 34-22, the Sixers got outscored. But thanks to Tyrese Maxey, they were really able to draw more than even. As a matter of fact, taking a 8-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Maxey hit a step-back 3 at the close of that third quarter that made it a 91-83 Sixers lead. Sixers ended up outscoring the Mavericks in that third quarter after getting blown out in the second quarter. In the third quarter, they come back and they win that quarter 36-22, led by Tyrese Maxey. So you love to see that. Also, how about this? Tyrese Maxey with those 13 assists. Joel Embiid with those 11 assists that he had on the night. Sixers had 29 assists at the close of the third quarter. I meant to look to see what they were assist-wise. This is something we talk about a little bit more now that the Sixers are starting to make a little bit more of a habit of doing this. But another night where the Sixers' assist total is far more than their average. 37 assists for the Sixers tonight. I didn't have time to crunch the numbers when it came to what it looks like overall in the league, but 37 assists? What? Who allowed that? The Mavericks did. That's who. But in total, so the Denver Nuggets lead the league with 31 assists per game. The Sixers, who are continuously at the bottom of the league, literally they're tied with the Houston Rockets for the fewest assists per game at 22.5, 22 and a half, I should say. Tonight, they go out there and they get one nice total. Yeah, I'll take that from the Sixers each and every time. If this is them developing some new habits with another scorer on the floor like Joel Embiid, you'll take it every single time. 37 assists for them on the evening. Yeah, you'll take it every time. So Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, hell of a way to do it. Maxey especially, there was a play he had in the couple plays he had there in the fourth quarter, 8:58 mark in the fourth quarter. Knocked down a jumper to help momentum going for the Sixers there. Knocked down a 3. That was the one that he got from Joel Embiid on that between the legs bounce pass that put the Sixers up 6. Eventually, the Mavericks, unfortunately, fummed their way back into this one thanks to Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving knocking down some big shots. But it was bound to happen at some point. What I loved was the Sixers fought. And you see at the last line there of the graphics, Philly showed fight tonight. And one of the guys that was really fighting is the third guy on my list, and that's Guerschon Yabusele. Guerschon Yabusele tonight finished for the Sixers, 19 points, 8 rebounds. He also had 4 assists. He had 2 offensive rebounds, and he was one of the few guys that was perfect. Actually, the only guy. Only 3 Sixers attempted free throws tonight. Joel Embiid, who was 4 of 9. Not great for him. Tyrese Maxey, who was 4 for 5. And how about this? Guerschon Yabusele, 5 for 5 from the charity stripe. He missed the only 3 he took. He only missed 1 shot tonight, and it was an only 3-point attempt. Other than that, he was 7 for 8 from the floor. Do you want to talk about efficiency? That's efficiency right there. I'll take that from him. Just had 1 turnover in 35 minutes played tonight. Now, when we come back, I'm going to tell you about why this is such a good sign. What the Sixers did today. I'm going to tell you about what's such a good sign for Guerschon Yabusele, and also a role I want to see Joel Embiid fall into a little bit more in the very near future, especially as he's fighting his way back through injury and ramping up, once again, to use that term. That's what we'll talk about when we come back. This is Locked On 76ers Postcast on the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Let me tell you about BetterHelp. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What are some of the relationship green flags. We often hear about, we always hear about the red flags. What about the green, the green flags? Well, if you're not sure what they look like, therapy can help you identify them. Actively practice them, as well as even embody that green flag energy yourself. Whether you're dating, whether you're married, building a friendship, or just working on you, therapy can help you form relationships that love you back. And that's what BetterHelp is here for. Therapy helps you develop healthy boundaries. It improves your communication skills. It empowers you to set clear expectations and express your needs in relationship. Therapy provides tools for managing conflict in ways that strengthen your connections rather than break them down. BetterHelp makes it easy by offering online therapy with over 30,000 licensed therapists to choose from. And if you need to switch therapists, you could do so at no extra cost. Discover your friendship and relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA. So let's get into this number one. The thing that I need to see from Joel Embiid. And this is something that we've talked about in the past, and it's something that we'll certainly be talking about for years to come until he actually does it. And that's be that facilitator. And there was one point, as happy as I was to see him out there tonight, as happy as I was to see, oh, wow, he's really closing in on a triple-double. And I mentioned already that mark in the third quarter there, where he was already at 22.7 assists and 8 rebounds in 25 minutes played, by the way. That's pretty good. There's a moment there in the fourth quarter where Joel Embiid, or was it? It was 10:43. Joel Embiid and Dembo are on the court together. I mentioned that earlier. Embiid settles for a jumper on Dante Exum. Why? I have no idea. You take that wee fella, you take him to the rack. There's another opportunity, and I think it was Al Amdanabi on the broadcast. He even said it. Like, you got to finish strong at the rim. He missed a little finger roll layup. Why, Joel Embiid? For the life of me, why are you taking a little baby finger roll layup when one step from you massive giant of a human being, splits the defenders perfectly down the paint, and you have a little, what did great Craig Kilborn used to call it, the dunk throw. The little dunk throw right there. If you don't want to slam it home with great authority, little dunk throw. And the thing was, about 3 minutes left, or 2 minutes later in the game, he did that exact thing. So I don't know if he was feeling better or if he learned from his mistake or whatever it was. But these are the moments in the game. He also settled for a 3 early in the shot clock, if I'm not mistaken. And all that was around the 10 to 9 minute mark of the fourth quarter. And that's when I thought, okay, this guy was put in a little too early. He seems a little too gassed still. I want to see, maybe gets a little break. Then they, by the grace of the basketball gods, they got that challenge overturned, and the Sixers kept the basketball. And after that, Joel Embiid was a much better basketball player. And that's when you started seeing him go to the rim a little bit more with aggression. That's where you started to see him concentrate on that pass a little bit more again, like he had in the previous 3 quarters, with that little between the legs bounce pass to Tyrese Maxey, who converted it for 3 points when he made that 3 from the foul line extended on the perimeter. So I saw all that. And I went, okay, this is the guy. This is the guy that I want to see. But in those moments, instead of settling for that little baby jump shot over a guard or shooting a 3 with plenty of time left on the shot clock, almost forcing the 3, instead of doing that, concentrate on being that facilitator. And triple doubles for Joel Embiid will happen at a nauseating regularity. He is that good. Like, he's going to go out there, he's going to get you 10 boards. He's going to go out there, he's going to get you 25 points. That's how good he is. And tonight, again, was a night where he was off shooting from the free throw line, which never happens. But if there's that point in the game, especially during this ramp-up period for Joel Embiid, where he is feeling exhausted and he feels like his legs are going, don't concentrate still on scoring the basketball. Set everybody else up. Whether it's Kelly Oubre in the corner for a 3. How about Justin Edwards hitting the 3 tonight? A couple 3s tonight, as a matter of fact. Tyrese Maxey, most notably, setting him up for a 3. Guerschon Yabusele, whoever it is, set up those guys. Don't force the shot. If you're going to take that, I forget who it is. It might be even Shaq. I know Charles Barkley has said this time and time again, but it's so true. You bail out your defender. if you're D'ing up Joel Embiid and you're Dante Exum, for instance, and you look around, you're like, oh, man, I guess he's mine now. Oh, damn. If you're that guy and you're going, oh, boy, please don't take me to the rim. Please don't take me to the rim. Please don't take me to the rim. And then you know what he does? He pulls up a little baby jumper. You're like, oh, thank goodness. Oh, and he missed it. Wow. That's great defense by me. No, man. Instead of settling for those kinds of shots, find the teammate. Because it's not like, unfortunately, they're sagging off of Joel Embiid. No, they're still D'ing him up. So you have that defender on you. Find that open man, especially if it's help defense coming over it. Because you know in the playoffs you're going to see, yeah, I said playoffs. You know in the playoffs you're going to see, in the play-in tournament at least, you're going to see double teams on Joel Embiid, and he's got to find a way to get out of them. So that's one thing. All right. When we come back, now I'll finish it in this comment. We'll go a little long tonight. So if you didn't see it, the 76ers traded for Quentin Grimes earlier this evening for Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin was a guy that they were using as a power forward. Despite being 6'5", 6'6", they were using him as a power forward. So they dish him away. They bring in a second-round pick in June's NBA draft, and they bring in Quentin Grimes. Now, Quentin Grimes, you see his numbers there on the season, 39.8% from beyond the arc. That's a welcomed addition. You see that he's only 6'5", 6'4", depending on who you want to believe, 24 years old. Also, he played with Tyrese Maxey in the under-18 team. Went to Kansas, and he also went to Houston. It's not on there, but take my word for it. Kansas and Houston is where he played his college ball. And he's had NBA stops with the Knicks, the Pistons, and then the Mavericks before now, obviously, joining the Sixers. This is a nice thing. I like more so what it means. Did they get somebody who's shooting close to 40% from beyond the arc? Great. I'm happy about that. Did they get someone that obviously has familiarity with Tyrese Maxey? Great. I'm fine with it. They bring in another guard. Does that mean maybe less Kyle Lowry? Yeah. Does it mean maybe some more time off for Eric Gordon? Potentially. But what it really means to me is Guerschon Yabusele ain't going anywhere. Now, that's what I'm hoping for. I'd love to see Yabu stick around here in Philadelphia. Would love to see it, as a matter of fact. Guerschon's a guy that could help you out in big games. And he's certainly a guy that can help you out down the stretch. You would talk about a guy who, has got that fight in him. How long do you wait? 6-7 years to get back to the NBA? Oh, yeah, he's got some fight. He's throwing his weight around with the Sixers. And you talk again about efficiency tonight. Pretty huge. Pretty huge. And whenever I bring stuff like this up, I always want to make it clear I'm not rooting for injury, but Gafford went out tonight with 330 and Mavericks didn't have anybody under the glass. Guerschon was helping out down there. Obviously, Joel Embiid was helping out down there. Kelly Oubre, I didn't even see what Kelly Oubre finished with tonight. Wrong button. Kelly Oubre finished with 19. He had 6 rebounds tonight. Not too shabby. But, Guerschon throwing his weight around helps big time. All right, when we come back, we're going to take your comments. We're also going to take a look at where the Sixers are headed next. Surprise! Right back at it tomorrow night. All right, that's when we return on Locked On 76ers Postcast and the Locked On Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Back after this. FanDuel. Boy, oh boy, I hope you guys are having a good time with FanDuel, especially with Super Bowl 59 just around the corner. Sunday, Super Bowl 59. One game, two teams, endless possibilities on FanDuel. There's no better way to make every play more exciting than with FanDuel Sportsbook. Whether it's predicting the first touchdown, calling the MVP, or even betting on the coin toss. Yeah, that's right. FanDuel makes it easy to get in on all the action. With live betting all game long, you can adjust your bets as the game unfolds and feel the thrill from kickoff to the final whistle. The live betting feature lets you stay involved no matter what happens on the field. And the app is super easy to navigate. Plus, knowing that you can just place a $5 bet and potentially win $200 in bonus bets for the Super Bowl. That's the icing on the cake right there. So take advantage of all they have to offer. Like right now, for instance, still the Chiefs favored by 1.5. Saquon Barkley, anytime touchdown score, going off at -190. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown, going off at +125. Something to focus on there. And how about this four-leg parlay for the Super Bowl. Saquon, anytime touchdown. Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. Kareem Hunt, anytime touchdown. And Xavier Worthy, anytime touchdown, going off at plus 1704. How about that? Get in, $10 bet. Makes you $170.47, as a matter of fact. So get in on all the action at FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com. Download the FanDuel app or head to FanDuel.com to get started. Bet just $5. If you win, you'll score $200 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. FanDuel.com. Bet with FanDuel, official partner of Super Bowl 59. Let's bring it on into our chat check and see if people are celebrating. Are you still celebrating a Sixers win? I'm still celebrating a Sixers win. Ari, go Birds. Okay, that's about right. Till we meet again. Ari, thank you so much. Elliot, great to have the big fella back. And man, that Justin Edwards kid can ball. Love that block. Just awesome. Yeah, I thought that was a foul. He got some hand on that. That could have went either way. I'm glad it didn't. But yeah, Edwards, 409, hit the corner three. That put the Sixers up. I believe it was 110-109. Edwards hit that corner three. Edwards came up with the block on Marshall around the 1 minute mark. And then Embiid made that layup with 22 seconds left, made it 117-116 in favor of the Sixers. That was nice. Yeah, Edwards had a nice block. What did Edwards finish with tonight? I'll flash his numbers up here real quick. Boop. And I got to get rid of your comment to do that. I'm a smart man. All right. God, he's in the starting five. What am I talking about? Justin Edwards finishing with 16 points tonight. Holy Stromboli, 4 of 9 from beyond the arc. Snuck up on me with them 16 points. Way to be there, son. Way to be Justin Edwards. Far as he can't bench the bar. Now we're talking the Super Bowl again. Far as he got the Chiefs by 3 again on a Harrison Butker 44-yard field goal. Well, whoopity-doo. I'm happy for you, but not really. Elliot, I think Grimes will be a restricted free agent, so dropping Martin opens up cap space for next year to keep Yabu. I hope so. I'd love to see Yabu here, like on an Oubre type deal. You know what I mean? Love to see it. Thank you for the obscure 90s comedian references. That guy peaked in old school. You're welcome. You're welcome. Can't even remember what I said at this point, but it's what's rattling around in my brain. That and sports, so they often come together. Anywho. All right, up next for the 76ers. Yes, no Joel Embiid tomorrow night after he logged 36 minutes and put up a triple-double tonight against the Mavericks. Sixers, by the way, now pulled within 9 games of 500 yet again. They are 20-29 on the season. As for tomorrow night, they do take on the Miami Heat. That's going to be a 7:30 tip-off in South Philadelphia on the second leg of a back-to-back. I'm going to go ahead and say Tyrese Maxey drops another 40-burger. I'm going to go ahead. Oh. Thank you. Of course. Craig Kelbarn. Ari, you're welcome. Of course. Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Tyrese Maxey with Tyler Hero playing, he's gonna go off. Wow, Maxey's now the 4th leading scorer in the NBA. Ugh. Not an all-star. Tyler Hero, somehow an all-star. Tyrese Maxey, not an all-star. Funny how that works. As for your standings tonight, the Bulls are trailing Miami, so they'll also be coming in a back-to-back from Chicago. Bulls are trailing Miami. Okay, so if the Bulls lose, Sixers and Bulls will still be tied. Both be 19 games out of first place in the Eastern Conference, and the Sixers are trying to catch them for the 10th and final play-in tournament seed. God, the NBA is terrible. Anyway, that's the way it's going to work. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. My name is Mark Farzetta. This is Locked On 76ers Postcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On 76ers Postcast. Make sure you like and subscribe to Locked On Sports Philadelphia's YouTube channel. And also, don't forget about our friends Keith Pompey and Kayla Santiago doing 76ers Daily Podcast. And also don't forget about the daily newsletter for Locked On 76ers. One stop for ultimate team and league coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On 76ers newsletter. Once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. My name is Mark Farzetta. Back with you guys tomorrow night after the Sixers hopefully extinguish the heat. See you guys then. Bye.